The topic of my presentation is impact of the hurricane's destruction of the Galveston in 1900 on the formation on National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. On September 8, 1900, Galveston, the United States, was hit by a strong hurricane, causing a great disaster. The hurricane, also known as the Great Galveston Hurricane, was one of the worst natural disasters in the U.S. history and led directly to the creation of the NOAA. NOAA is the meteorological observation agency established by the United States government in 1917. It systematizes the study of the ocean and atmosphere and is mainly responsible for the forecasting weather, monitoring ocean and atmospheric conditions, and drawing the ocean maps. I will analyze the impact of the Galveston hurricane on the history of the United States and review how it led to the establishment of NOAA and also the impact of the NOAA after its establishment. Overall, the presentation will focus on what role did the hurricane disasters play in driving the creation of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and disaster warning. This map shows the geographic location of the Galveston in the United States and the extent of the Galveston hurricane of the 1900. The hurricane peaked at a Category 4 intensity with maximum sustained winds of the 125 knots and minimum pressure of the 936 bar. It began in Caribbean, affecting the island of the Guadeloupe and the Jamaica. After making landfall in Texas, Galveston was hit hard and affected surrounding areas such as Houston before moving north. This image taken by the GES East satellite on September 4, 2020, shows a composite view of the Galveston today and during the hurricane. In fact, the Galveston hurricane is essentially a severe storm. This is a broad concept that covers all kinds of strong airflow phenomena in the atmosphere. Hurricanes, on the other hand, are tropical cyclones, which are intense storm systems that develop in certain areas, the Atlantic uh, and the eastern North Pacific. The 1900 Galveston hurricane was a storm with a wind and excess of the 113 mph. Next, I will analyze the damage caused to the Galveston Island by the 1900 Galveston hurricane. Galveston Island is about 1.5 to 3 miles wide and 27 miles long. Due to the direct impact of the hurricane, 19% of the island was completely submerged. At the same time, the Galveston's highest point is only 8.7 feet above the sea level, and the storm surge is 15 feet, or about 4.6 meters. The official United States government death rate are after the hurricane was 6,000 to 8,000, but modern studies estimate that the actual deaths from the Galveston hurricane was as high as 12,000 or 20% of the population of Galveston Island at that time. So, according to the Thornton Regional Director of the National Weather Service, Galveston was responsible for more deaths than any other tropical storms or hurricane-related deaths since the founding of the United States one-third. According to the report, 18 to 19% of the population living in hurricane-prone areas has never experienced a major hurricane. Many people experience weaker storms and thus have the false impression of the hurricane destruction. After the terrible memories of the storm of 1900, the people of the Galveston began to take steps to protect their city from the next great hurricane. The seawall extends 10 miles of the waterfront to protect the city center, and 2 years after storm, construction began to break water 16 feet thick and 17 feet high. Even more shocking was the fact that They raised the entire island by 8 feet with sand from the Galveston Bay. As a result, the death rate and economic loss caused by hurricanes, as well as people's panic, emphasized the importance of the storm monitoring and promoted the creation of the NOAA. In 1900, however, the United States Weather Service was only 10 years old, and the weather forecast was primitive, so citizens and governments relied on the scattered reports from ships stationed in the Gulf of Mexico. Although the Weather Service was aware that a major storm was approaching as a hurricane tracked north over the Cuba. Since the wireless ship to the shore communication did not exist in uh, 1900, they had no idea of the storm's size and destructive power, nor was it knowing that the hurricane was strengthening and heading towards Texas. This limitation promotes the creation of the NOAA. After NOAA was established in uh, 1970, the accuracy of the timeliness of the tsunami and the storm data monitoring increased at the speed of the network monitoring data transmission increased. And today's warning systems are effective at preventing storms and tsunami, such as satellite image, computer modeling, and remote monitoring. At the same time, a ship at the sea reports the movement and the intensity of the storm. In addition, NOAA, through its collaboration with United States Integrated Ocean Observing System, it provides information from multiple sources of marine and coastal data to support the preparedness and response efforts and provide forecast also for the projection ahead of the hurricanes. For example, the use of the underwater drones to collect internal hurricane data increase understanding the hurricane intensity. In conclusion, the 1900 Galveston hurricane played a significant role in the creation of the NOAA. When faced with the storms in the United States in 1900, especially storms like Galveston, advanced monitoring the methods had not yet been developed, resulting in only fragmented and incomplete information. Therefore, in 1917, in order to better predict the ocean and atmospheric research, the United States integrated relevant organizations to establish the NOAA so as to prevent tsunami and storms and other disasters to avoid the recurrence of the 1900 Galveston hurricane. This is my presentation. Thanks for you guys listening and watching.